Hi, it's Kari Mathews of Prairie Quilting. Today we're working on my Once Upon a Month block of the month, and it's November. Each block is sold separately and comes with an additional small project. And this month it's a fun table runner that's perfect for Thanksgiving. Today we're going to be working on the extra block here. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for the extra block for November, we're going to go ahead and make some half square triangles, and these are pretty good size. Okay, we have a light blue and then a really pretty burgundy leaf color. Okay, so I'm going to draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of the fabric, and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on both sides of that line. Okay, so for each of these blocks, we need two of these sets of squares here. So that'll produce 4 half square triangles for us. Okay, and we'll turn around and come back the other side. All right, so we will go ahead and cut these apart on the line. And it doesn't have to be exact because the seam allowance has already been accounted for. I'm using a rotary cutter, and you could use a scissors as well. Okay, and I'm going to press toward that burgundy color. I love that leaf print. It's so pretty, and this burgundy or maroon color is just gorgeous for fall. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and clip these corners off. Okay, so now we're gonna make some square and a square units. We're gonna use the red, goes with this gold, and then the orange goes with the green and the blue, okay? So what we're gonna do is we'll start off with the blue. And so we're gonna put a blue and a green opposite each other, okay? But we'll start off with the one side. So I am leaving my corners hanging out the same distance, okay? And I'm just eyeballing it. I found that works pretty well. So doing that for all of these. There's those, and then the gold. Okay, so now we're going to put a green one opposite that blue one with this orange, okay? And then it's gold all the way around on this red. Okay, let's go ahead and sew. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press toward those triangles on the outside. Kind of give them a little smack when I throw it down. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and do the opposite sides here. Okay, so the gold is just all gold. Okay, and the blue, we've got one more blue, and it's going to go on this side down here. Okay, and do you see where the V is here? I'm going to go in there and come out on the other side at that V too. This V right here. Okay, and let's match up the opposite side with the remaining triangles here. So now we have the green. . Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go away from the center square again. We're going toward those triangles on all sides. Okay, so now we're going to trim these down. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and from these points here, we're going to go out 1/4 inch. Okay, and I'm kind of just lining them up so they're kind of squared up here, you know, with my grid a little bit. Okay, and we're going to square those up, and the directions for the sizes for everything is in the pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this one. And I'm gonna err on the just slightly bigger than what we need, maybe. Just slight. Okay. And then now I'll take and line those up. We don't want to over trim because then we'll end up with blunted off points, and we don't want that. Okay, so this is basically how we were going to trim all of these squares, okay? And, okay, so now we have the trimmed up squares. I'll do that for all the others. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and line these up. We're just making a 9 patch, okay? And I'm going to go ahead, I'm forcing this nest here. There's a whole bunch of seams that meet here, and I'm going to go ahead and try to nest those, okay? Okay. Okay, and we're going to connect up the last blocks in each row. And this one, again, we're going to force that nest so we can meet those points up as good as we can here. Okay, so to press this, we're going to go toward the center, trying to avoid as much bulk as we can and line up those points as well. Okay, and then we're going to go toward the half square triangles on this, on both the top and the bottom sections. All right, and now we will connect our rows. Okay, so let's go ahead, we'll nest our seams. Nest these ones, and then we will go ahead and, you know what, we're just going to leave that, but I'm going to put a pin through and see if it comes out pretty much center, okay? All right, let's go ahead and sew. Okay, and we will put these the last sections together here, the last row on. Okay, we're nesting those blocks, and then I'm going to take and put a pin in the center of this intersection and see if it comes out on the other side. Okay, and now we're going to sew our last seam. right, and I'm gonna go out from the center to press this. I like to give it some steam. I just think it kind of sets it a little bit better. So that's how I press. Okay, and there's our second block for November. All right, our block is finished. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you soon for another project. Take care.